This is Ron, N6 Echo Echo. I like to use remote ham radio to do RTTY contesting. In part one video, we got basic RTTY running on remote ham radio using the WebDX console and the N1MM logger. This video will now use the Smart SDR app on your PC desktop to add some pretty serious RTTY contesting capabilities on remote ham radio. So here we go. Okay, here we are on the remote ham radio desktop app has been installed and I've opened it. I'm going to connect to a station like Jefferson. Oh, I have the slider up here. Okay, we connect to Jefferson. It opens up whatever band, whatever mode, but make certain down here the TX DAX is turned on. That's critical. And furthermore, since we will be operating RTTY, we're going to turn off the speech processor. Next step, we're going to open Smart SDR, making sure the version agrees with the version of the station that you are going to connect to. This one is version 373. That's what I have here, version 373. And we open Smart SDR. Opens up and shows us here that we can connect to Jefferson. We do that. SmartCat and Smart DAX also opened up. Now, it's opening up here with two PAN adapters. Let me show you what happens when we first open. You'll have only a single PAN adapter on slice A. But if you come down to lower left corner, click on this new PAN adapter, it opens up with a second PAN adapter with slice B. Let's change the band on slice B so we're on a different band. A is on 20 meters. Let's open up 15 meters. Should be open this time of the day, I think. There we are. And okay, so we've got Smart SDR going. Now we also want to make sure that we have Smart Cat open and that we're connected to the same station, in this case Jefferson. But here's what's critical. This is out. It took a while for me to figure this one out, but you do have to be in your local computer connection, not WebDX. I'm not going to select it because somehow or other it messes things up from time to time, occasionally. But what I did do is I created a second COM port. This is important. We're going to be going SO2S, single operator, 2 slices, and this will be used for slice 2. Notice it's connected to slice B. So I open up by add here. You do an add COM port, connect whatever COM port shows up to slice B. All right, so that's Smart Cat. Smart DAX, you have to connect to the same station, which we do. And notice we're getting receive activity on slice B, but not slice A. Well, for one thing, whatever happened to slice B here? Gosh. This does happen, and I don't know why. Unfortunately, if I add well, I'll show you what happens. In this case, it's going to add a PAN adapter, but then we're going to wind up with slice C over here. There's slice C, unfortunately. Okay, so we're not getting anything on receiving in slice C. So let's do 2 things. Let us go back to Smart Cat. I'm sorry, this just didn't go well. I'm going to start all over again. Okay, so we got the slice A open, And now I'm going to open SmartCat. And it's connected to slice B, but slice B isn't present yet. Let me open up Smart DAX, and some reason opening up Smart DAX disconnected slice B. So we connect, and it's showing no activity. All right, fine. We'll make corrections here. Slice A is going to be connected to DAX 1. Let's open up a new PAN adapter here. That new PAN adapter is slice B. We see back here in SmartCat, we are COM5 connected to slice B, and we are now getting receive activity on both slices. Okay, I don't know why it closed slice B on me, but that's how you open slices, and that's what we needed to do. I'm going to minimize a few things, not close them. Do not close them, just minimize them. Okay. Let me make a little more room here in the sliders by clicking on the letters of the slice. And I'm prepared and ready to open up N1MM. Now, before doing that, I had created 2 instances of MMTTY. So I just copied the folder that MMTTY was installed in. And then when I open up N1MM, I'll show you how you get to use that second slice in N1MM. Okay, so here we go. We'll wind up having, and I'll show you how I get here. Okay. All right, we have 2 entry windows in N1MM. We have 2 different RTTY engine, digital interfaces, which each have their digital RTTY engines. And notice we just happen to have somebody tuned in here. And by the way, we happen to have 2 different decoding windows here and decoding messages here. I'll show you how we get there. But the first things first, when you first open up N1MM, you have to go to configure. You go to configure ports, just like we did in part 1 of the videos. This time, though, in addition to putting a Flex 6000 series radio on COM4, which is assigned to slice A, we opened up COM5 and put Flex 6000 series radio there. But before hitting set, I changed this from SO1V to SO2R. Okay, we're SO2R, single operator, 2 radios. All right, well, we're not quite going to have 2 radios, but we're going to be really close to that. So we click set on COM5. In order to set it up, you have to put in the speed, data bits, and so on, DTR and RTS as recommended down below. But here's the key thing I wanted to show you. When you open up COM5 and set it, you set it to radio number 2. That's what defines the second entry window. Then we also need to have push to talk on that entry. And we do, just as we did in part 1, we set it for push to talk via radio command on digital mode. All right, what that all gives us is the second entry window. But before we leave the configurer, go to digital modes. Last time in part 1, I set up digital interface 1 on a sound card and gave it the path to the MMTTY. But I have a second instance of MMTTY in a different folder. This folder is MMTTY Radio 1. This folder is MMTTY Radio 2. That's the name of the folder. Both point to mmtty.exe in those respective folders. Both are set up for AFSK. That's all we need on the configurer. That then opens up the 2 entry windows, each with a digital interface connected to them, like that, with their RTTY engines for tuning. And we can find somebody by going to Smart SDR which is behind this, and so that's inconvenient. So let's do something kind of cool. Let us separate these two. And the way we would do that, here, let's take the B slice. You see this little arrow pointing to the upper right? That's, if you hover it, says pop out, pop in. So I'm going to click pop out, and it puts that up here, like that. And that is, I've got something getting in the way that you can't see. All right, that's the problem. All right, so make this a little bit smaller. So it's kind of awkward. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna get this panel out of the way over. Sorry about that. I accidentally hit the wrong button and stopped the recording. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, I wanted to hit right below the one that closes it. Okay, there, that gets the panel out of the way. Gives us a little more real estate to do our tuning with. Okay, then we also have this much bigger window here, which we can do two things. Let's get rid of this panel. Things are so tiny. Well, they're trying to squeeze in an awful lot of stuff in an awfully small area. All right, I'm going to make it about as small as I can make it so that I can do the same thing with the A slice. Put that over here. And then something like that. Okay, there was something happening back up with the Smart SDR that I forgot to show you. And that is under settings, radio setup, the focus helper. In the chooser, you need to select N1MM. I've already done that. If I select it again, a little warning message comes up, but it doesn't seem to hurt anything. But I'll just leave it as is. And now we have two areas for tuning. Let's find somebody and tune them in by double clicking on the waterfall, the right-hand slice. Over here on the, oh, I see, somehow we wound up both on 20 meters. Good golly, let's change that by opening up the slice flag and typing in something like 21, I don't know, 086 maybe. Anybody around there? There's a contest going on right now, so that's why it's helpful. I'm going to stretch so we get a finer granularity of tuning. All right, so let's look at the history on this one and see who can we tune in. This looks like maybe there's somebody going to be here. Oh, here's a nice strong signal. Okay, so we got somebody on 20 meters. We got somebody on 15 meters. They show up down here in the tuning window right here. So you tune here and they show up in the RTTY engine tuning here. The cross bananas helps get it a very precise tuning. Notice that we are seeing somebody calling CQ here. I don't think I've worked them before, so let me just let me double click on them. And hit the enter key. We're transmitting to him. Whoops. I don't know why we got that funny message. Oh, that's because we're in S&P. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. S&P is correct. Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on here, isn't there? OZ11 S&P, I should be able to just hit the enter key. And let's see if he calls CQ again. Let me try this again. Yeah, now it's correct. It gives my call sign. And he came back to me. There you go. There's his report. There's the time. And I send my report to him, 599551442. Did he get it? Yep, thank you. All right, so that's transmitting. You can do that on either VFO. You can run or S&P on either VFO. You can slide up and down the bands. So that's an example then of SO2S. But one thing I didn't show you is how in the world did I get this second line here? How did I get two-tone? Well, what I did is I downloaded and installed two-tone. You can get that from the AA5AU Alpha Alpha 5 Alpha United RTTY site. Find two-tone, download it. I did that. And in order to get it to show up here, I'll go backwards. I'll get rid of it first so I can show you how I got it in here. Okay, that separated it. And then going back to the digital interface setup, adding, no, that'll add another one. Okay, so let me X out of that. That closes that. I'm just backing up here so I can show you how I actually got there. So notice now there's only one window. There's only one RTTY engine. All right, so how did I get there? I went on the digital interface, setup, go down to add RX windows and open a window. As I do that, it opens up two-tone. Now, how did two-tone get here? Well, two-tone got here in the, let's see, I think that was in the configure ports, digital modes. No, that's not going to be right. No. That's not right. I forgot how I did this already, wouldn't you know? Come on back. Lights to close and reopen. Okay, let me close this. Okay, now it should be, if I go to setup, add windows, open a window. And how did I get this in here? Setup, there it is. Okay. So when it opened up, it wanted to know what window type did I want. And that's where I typed in. You have a lot of choices here, including, you could also do a second one with MMTTY set up with different, say, filters. But I chose two-tone. And then you have to give it a path to two-tone. And this is where I put the copy that I installed of two-tone. And I selected that. And that's it. But how in the world did I get that to show up as a second window in here? Well, for that, again, you go on the digital interface, you do setup, add RX windows, enable attached. So that's what I'm going to do, enable attached, and then go back and add open, and there it is. So our second decoder, you have to do the enable first and then open the RX, and there it is. And you can use either window here to click on or to send from. And I think that covers just about everything I wanted to show you on serious RTTY contesting on remote ham radio. And of course, remote ham radio with all its very powerful stations, you can do some pretty serious contesting. So I hope you do and have a lot of fun doing it. I wish all the very best of good luck. 73s from November 6, Echo, Echo.